Hi, I'm Beth, creator of dryitcanit.com. I like to share with you how-tos and original recipes for canning food, dehydrating food, and soon freeze-drying food. I'm often asked on our Facebook group, what's the best book for canning, dehydrating, freeze-drying? And honestly, in some respects, there is no best book for everybody because our needs are different. But I have 3 books that I think are outstanding, and I think that it makes sense for you if you're a beginning canner, a beginning dehydrator, or even freeze drying, or even have experience. These books are outstanding resources. So I want to talk real briefly about those, and I'll have a link down below to each one of these books. The first one is the USDA Home Canning Book. This is the Bible, really, for anybody who is starting out canning. It tells you what pressure canning is. It tells you what water bath canning is. It describes safe canning practices. And I think any new canner should definitely have this book to understand the science really behind the canning. It also gives you lots of ideas on how to do your canning. Now that said, this book used to be available for free online. However, recently it's come down online and not available. I think it's getting moved to maybe the University of Georgia, so you can look there. But otherwise, the book is available, and I use it often still as a resource. So it really covers everything from fruits and vegetables to meats, water bath canning, pressure canning. This is your go-to to learn how to can, and it's a great resource and a great reference. The second one that I have is dehydrating foods. If you're into dehydrating or learning how to dehydrate foods, this book is amazing. It not only includes what dehydrating is, it gives you different methods using a dehydrator, how to build a dehydrator even, using your oven, talks about the history of dehydrating, but it goes through almost every fruit and vegetable that you can think of in terms of how to prepare it, how to check for doneness, how to use it. Let me show you an example of what this particular book has for references. Let me just show you some random pages here. So I'll just open up here to, well, that's a recipe. I want to show you some ingredients. So for example, today I have, let's see here, I'll have peas. So it talks about peas, it talks about preparation, it talks about how to check for doneness, what your yield will be, and how to use it. Let me look for something else here, just as another random example. Mushrooms, yummy. Again, preparation, doneness test, what your yield is, how to use it, different drying methods. Really a good resource, this book is, for so many fruits and vegetables. So if you're looking for a really, really good book on dehydrating, this is the one to get. And again, my link is below. Lastly, I have a book on freeze drying, which is a great beginner's book. And I'm going to give this one with a little bit of a caveat. This book was written particularly for those who have the Harvest Right freeze dryer. I don't have that one. I chose to do a Stay Fresh dehydrator. So lots of the information on here is the step-by-step if you have the Harvest Right dehydrator, but the information here is also excellent for anybody who's learning how to freeze dry. It really gives you a lot of how-tos, and it shows you in a very concise form what to do with some of your dehydrated food and how to prep it. Let me show you about what some of those look like. This book gives great information on so many vegetables and fruits, but you'll see, for example, let's just randomly take celery. You'll see what a large stalk is, how many hours it might take to dry, how to prepare it, prep it, rehydrate it, use it. Again, there's just pages and pages of that. Also, there are some logs on the back here, along with some recipes, but there are some logs that are also really helpful, that as you make different batches, it'll help you keep track of your food. So those are helpful, and these sheets are actually downloadable. This book also has some recipes in it, which I think are really helpful. And again, I'll have a link to this one below as well. So again, these books are just meant as resources. I think whether you're experienced or especially if you're new, any of these are really great. Remember the freeze drying one, the directions are written for those of you who have a Harvest Right freeze dryer. But again, as somebody who does not have that kind, I still found this book to be really, really helpful. So I appreciate your watching. Hopefully you learned something. Would really appreciate you subscribing to my channel as I do more recipes and more how-tos. You'll see the link in the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching. Appreciate a thumbs up if you learned something today or if you found this helpful. Have a great day.